We're
I
live.
think we're live.
We're
Are we live?
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We're live. It's alive. I think we're alive. I'm alive.
It says we're
there.
live.
We're live.
We're live.
Hello, everybody.
Live.
Hello.
Hello.
I hope everyone is doing good tonight. I got Ian
Someone's
Limey with me.
Echoing. Am I echoing?
Are we echoing? I don't hear an
Why,
echo.
hello.
I think
Here.
There may have been for a second, but I've muted YouTube now.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I had to do
I'm
that too.
definitely hearing echoes.
Hey, Jeremy, the trip was amazing. It was awesome. It was so good. I met a lot of great creative people, and I want to go back next year. Hey, Lisa, I want to go back next year and actually perform, and email me because I would like you to go. There's live busking out in front of businesses. You could just basically just play. And yes, I will be showing a video as soon as it uploads of a kazoo orchestra. I met a lady from where I live, but I met her in Buffalo, but she's from here, but now she lives in Buffalo. And her name is Katie, and she organized a kazoo orchestra. Now, it was supposed to be outside, but it rained like cats and dogs yesterday. It was insane. It was like deluge. So they had to move it inside this church they were supposed to be in front of, and it is in a stairwell. So it's like it kind of made it more interesting acoustically there, especially with the kazoos. So it'll be fun. But we are supposed to be talking tonight about resilience and mental health. And basically where I'm going with that, it's the capacity to adapt, recover, and grow in the face of trauma, adversity, or major stress. Okay, so it's your or our human capacity to do that, and how we do that. So discuss, talk amongst yourselves. Anyway. So there's like core components and things you can do to strengthen your resilience. There's the core components are cognitive flexibility, viewing change as an opportunity rather than an insurmountable threat. That's, change is kind of a constant, right? So at least in my life it has been. So you kind of have to go with the flow there. Connection. And this is kind of where I'm going with this. Engaging a strong support system of friends, family, or community groups. There we go. I think that's an important thing. And the last is purpose, setting achievable goals, and engaging in daily activities that give life meaning. So there we go. That's it in a nutshell. And I just came from a really interesting art community full of people that really supported each other and was really cool. Just like we do here on YouTube. I thought that was pretty sweet. So let me go and see. Yeah.
Where is this community located, Justine?
It is in Buffalo, New York. And it is really cool. Yeah. The whole Buffalo Infringe, it's Refringe is the festival name. It's part of a bigger movement called Infringement. And there's just a core group in Buffalo that organize all of these events and know all of these artists. And it's really amazing to get to know them. And they're so welcoming. They're so sweet. I mean, they're just like, oh, you play? You should come and play. Like right now. I'm like, what? Oh, if I had my instrument, I would. But I don't. But it was really cool. So it's going to probably happen next year around the same time. This year it was May 14th through 17th or 18th. No, 17th. It was through today. I could have stayed through today, but I have a show. They're going to try to do it around the same time next year. I don't know if the dates are going to be the same. But there is a IG site. It's Buffalo Refringe, I believe. So if anybody's interested, let me know. I just want to say
I thought you were gonna like stream from alleys, like
I
from Alice's
was,
place.
but to take my laptop and this microphone would have been ridiculous. It would have been too hard. And the way to set up, it was probably good I didn't because it rained. And most of the things were outside. So everybody had to tent up and leave.
I thought you were gonna just like
Boo.
like stream with her, you and Allie sit next to each other in her house or something.
Yeah,
Like, that's
no,
what I thought was
didn't-
gonna happen.
No, it was a whole huge festival, and it took up about a square mile of the city, and it was in different places. So you had to like book it to see different things. It was
You
was
got
quite
an
an adventure.
Airbnb though, didn't you?
I did.
I
got an
yeah,
Airbnb. Yeah,
right.
it was cheaper than a hotel and way nicer. Oh my god, this place was so cool. It was really neat. But it's a lot like Detroit there, where you have pockets of houses that are dilapidated and then like two really beautiful homes, or like four really nice ones and then one bad one. And they're working on redeveloping it, but it's it takes time. And there's probably places you shouldn't walk to at night. I wouldn't recommend. But during the day is fine. And I walked to plenty of places and I was fine. It was great. So it was really cool. I have not said hello to the chat yet. Hello, Jen, my sister.
Hello, chat.
And Miss Pookie, good to see you. Birdfinger, what's up? Hey, Wes.
Wes.
And I saw other
Strings
people
and-
come in
strings
here.
and pucks.
Jeremy, like I yelled at you. You should go with me next year. I'm gonna try to get James Myers too, as well. Said hi to Lisa. There's Limey. So, hey, G-May, what's up? Sorry I missed you yesterday. I didn't have my laptop. I couldn't have come up. I only have my phone. Yeah, to lug this microphone would have been ridiculous. I would have had to take a Temu microphone, which I could have, but Allie never told me that she got permission from anybody that we could go live. So that was a little And then everything was outside and not in one place. And so it was just
And getting
strange.
progressively soggier.
Really, wow, was I soggy yesterday. It was so bad. I was wearing this hoodie and I didn't have an umbrella
You did,
at all. I did not
no
expect it.
waterproofs.
No,
Did-
not me.
The weather before you left home, Justine.
I did. And it said it was going to be sunny. It lied. Lie.
Boo.
Shame.
Bad weather people. Yeah, shame.
Right?
Shame.
Boo.
Shame.
Shame.
Oh,
Shame on the weather, man.
So, Justine, you sort of listed a few things there. Can you just go back to number one? Because I was, as you may have noticed, I was busy swamping chat. But I did catch number one. I just need a quick reminder.
Oh, cognitive flexibility.
And this is supposed to help. These are like things that you want to develop in order to build resilience, right?
Yeah, they're, it's key factors that contribute to building that resilience, right? So viewing change as an
Cognitive
opportunity.
Flexibility.
Yeah.
So what's your understanding of that phrase?
Well, kind of just, I really go with the flow. Don't
Right.
force things, right? Change is a constant. You're always going to be changing. Things are kind of always in flux, in my opinion. Maybe you can have a time where things are all the same, but not usually, at least in my life. So you have to, especially with my job, I think I'm thinking of mainly. So you have to go with the flow. This says view as an opportunity, but I say, go with the flow.
Like a sort of metaphor or picture that I like to think of in terms of resilience and change and things like that is like, an English oak is very strong, However, a willow will bend and will be able to withstand a lot more turbulence and movement and change than an oak. An oak stands firm, but ultimately it will break.
Right.
But a willow will bend and still stand afterwards.
That's a
Like-
great analogy. Yeah. That's a perfect analogy, I think, because that's, it reminds me of there's a Chris Cornell solo tune with a lyric of it's called Murderer of Blue Skies, and one of the like the bridge leading up to the chorus is
Hi,
I'll
Treach.
bend but I won't break.
Yeah.
Hey,
There you
Treach.
go.
Yeah.
Trish.
And I
Yeah.
think, I mean, the thing is, I might have stolen that from somewhere, but I try and cite my sources, and I can't. If I have stolen that from somewhere, I can't remember where it was from.
No, it's great. Yeah.
But it also puts me in mind of Tai Chi, because my understanding is like I've never practiced any martial arts or whatever, but I had a friend who was into Tai Chi, lent me a couple of books, and it seems like that's more about going with the flow of the energy of the person who is attacking you, but then moving with that and turning it back on themselves. Whether other martial arts might be more like directly meeting that force. It's about meeting the force, moving with it, and then redirecting it. And I think like that. You could say like the willow is practicing Tai Chi, and the oak is practicing another form of offensive or defensive actions.
That's interesting.
Like
Yeah.
Stoicism. Like,
I've
Yeah.
stoicism, yeah.
Hmm.
I've done a little martial arts, but the martial arts I've done, it wasn't Tai Chi, but it did utilize that concept where when somebody punched you, you use that momentum to throw them. Or
Yeah.
do whatever you needed to do,
Yeah.
Or like
tie them up in
kind
your
of think of it like in terms of like a rubber band. Like you can stretch it so many times, and like, but it gets weaker. Like I mean, like this hair tie, has got a
Yeah.
rubber band in the middle. Eventually, I'm gonna keep twisting it around, and it's gonna break.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe like, I mean, I would think of like, say, a string hasn't got any elasticity, so once it meets once it stretches enough, it will snap. An elastic band, or like you say, that will have more times where it will be able to expand and contract, but eventually it gets work hardened, to use a term from physics, and it'll lose its
I mean, because the
elasticity and then
particles,
snap.
the
And that's
particles
the-
are the it's like
Yeah.
like it's stretching apart. It's literally
Yeah.
bringing its molecules apart and then bringing it back together. And it can only do that so many times. It's not like a fluid where it just regroups and
Yeah. Yeah.
like
And that's the thing, because like if you get a bad enough storm, a willow will eventually break. Everybody has their limits,
Yeah.
but an elastic band or a willow has more. That limit is a lot further off in the distance, and like cognitive flexibility sort of plays into that nicely, because if you're flexible and you're like you say going with it, or
Yeah.
it's funny
yeah.
Go with the
you
flow.
bring up the willow because it kind of reminds me of I don't know if you were watching it all earlier, Limey. Valerie's stream.
Mhm.
She was showing sumo.
yeah,
Oh, I missed
yeah.
it.
And
Oh,
she
yeah.
showed where the one guy was like he
Yeah.
literally got right to the edge of the ring
Uh-huh.
and then he bowed backwards.
Nice, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was like he's just like
Yeah, exactly, right? Because it's only even he, as flexible as he was, he's got a limit at which he's not going to bend any further. But yeah, if he hadn't have bent, he might have just got pushed straight out. Before that, like yeah, absolutely. That's a really good tie-in. Yeah, that was impressive. That was impressive.
I'm sorry I missed that. I was driving.
Road trip.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you gotta have the streams on while you're driving. And
Well,
Just to-
I
like,
would have, but
have
it
have it on the
Yeah, my
odds
bad.
or something.
I have to link it through my Bluetooth, and I had my Sirius XM on, and I was just, that was keeping me alert, you know, all the music, because I had it on the grunge station, and then I would switch it over to the 80s station, because they're right next to each other. It's 33 and 34. So
You might have missed the other, or was it Friday when Valerie was kind of taking requests, and I just kind of I just suggested "Wannabe" by the Spice Girls,
oh
and
god,
she went through it. She went through it. She figured it out in real time. But
I'm
then
gonna
she got
have
up
to
to the
rewatch that. Oh
she
my
got
god,
up to the rap. She got up to the rap verses, and she was like, it was like, yo, something A to Z. If you want to get with me, there's some things, you know, whatever. And M really likes her. What? She like said, it was like a record scratch moment there where she's like, hold on, what is?
wait a minute.
Wasn't it the bit where one of them raps about she likes it in her face or something like that?
Yeah, so one of the Spice Girls likes it on her face, and she's like, she starts singing. She's like, whoa,
should I do it? This is a perfect time. Okay, so I had a clown, a woman. She was well into her 70s, and she was in a whole jester outfit with full makeup, miming, and she came up to me during this kazoo thing, and she gave me this. Where's pole vault? Speaking of which, it's a sword. What's wrong with you people?
Sword.
It's a sword.
Sword.
Oh, and I heard just to interject, the lecture on toast. I'm still not over the lecture on toast. It was so awesome.
A lecture on toast.
It was
Tell me more.
great. He went through. This guy is a PhD in something. I don't remember exactly what,
Bread
but
products. Bread products?
I think it's something to do with language. Okay?
Oh, okay.
I think he's in linguistics. And he went through the whole etymology of the word toast, the history of toast, what toast is not. He had demonstrations. He had a piece of toast light a light bulb. He printed out a piece of toast. It was crazy. You can't you can turn bread into toast, but you can't turn toast into bread, so you can't go backwards.
Oh, yeah, this toast, much like time, has only got one direction. That's impressive.
Yeah,
I love it.
And then he had different toasters through the ages. He had the one that had the sides that flap out, and then you toast it goes in like this. Yeah,
there's a toaster that's like a DeLorean.
Yeah,
I mean,
kind of, yes. Yeah, my parents had one. It was super old and dangerous as hell.
You press the
You
lever
would burn
down.
the crap out of yourself in this thing. It was all metal.
You
I
press the
gotta find a
switch on
picture
it,
of
and
it.
it just fucking travels through time. You're like, where
Yeah.
my breakfast
Now you see-
go?
Old
That would be one way to
toasters.
turn your burnt
Here it
toast
is.
back into
Oh my
bread.
god.
Just saying.
It
That's
takes-
one way that you could go against the direction of travel for toast by using that DeLorean toaster, right?
Toaster
You could-
time
Absolutely.
machine.
If you overdid
It's
your
a
toast
toaster
and
time
burnt it, you
machine.
just pop it in, switch the dial the other way. Hey, presto, you got warm bread.
Here we go.
Yeah, and
Here
then
we go.
imagine that. Then
Here we
if
go.
you overdo
Oh my
it,
God.
you
Oh
burn
my
it
God.
too much,
Yeah,
and
Look
then you
at
send
this.
it back in time to a time
That's
where it
what it
wasn't
looks like.
ruined.
yeah.
And there's that.
Yeah. But
And
not
then-
too far, or you end up with grains and yeast in your toaster, and that's
There we
not
go.
good.
Well, and the thing about those are they're so dangerous. And they want like $173 for the thing. Oh my god.
They look
Okay, I'm
like
dying.
That probably looks steampunk.
No way.
It does.
It's
look
They
like
got
so
this.
dangerouski.
I
It's
gotta
so
say though,
dangerous.
I dig old fashioned
Okay.
shit like that because
Yeah.
the way those look, they look so fucking. It just everything just had such a just a cool look to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love antiques for that. Like
Oh, for sure.
Those,
Yeah.
it's
those
so
1920s toasters there look well cool. All of a sudden, I want a new old toaster.
A 1930s.
Oh,
Yeah, here's
sorry,
a really.
sorry, Vicky. Let me. Sorry, actual fact. Let me
it's
just
all
turn me
better.
gain up a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Right, I'll try. Let me know, Pukey, if I'm still too quiet.
I mean, I think
Sound
it
good
sounds a
to
little
me,
better.
but it might sound different to me than to them. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Different-
I love
different
those.
levels.
I love all that old
different
fashioned
levels.
stuff.
Look at
Yeah.
that one.
It looks like a
No.
typewriter.
Does
And
it?
either or like a typewriter or like a little small like space heater or something. Like, I mean, it probably could be a space
Oh.
heater. I mean, it is a toaster
Pareidolia.
after all.
Pareidolia toaster.
Yeah, it does. It has faces. Look, it looks like a pumpkin face. I like it.
Like an
and then
evil
let's see,
machine.
That's, this is what I want to look at.
Ooh.
A
Right.
toaster.
Those
That
did
I am
opens.
Toastimus Prime.
Toastimus Prime.
It's so old. This one's only
It
75
almost looks
bucks.
like.
They have
I bet if
one-
you flicked, I bet
more
if
than
you
one?
flicked the elements in there, it would probably have like a nice little reverb. You could use like as an old fashioned reverb pedal.
It's only like
A
7
music
inches
maker.
high. It's so small.
That's what she said.
7 by 7. 7 by 7. Anyway, so
That-
yeah,
I see
he
a
had one
face
of
there
those.
too. It's like
Yeah,
a little
right?
itty bitty
See?
little face.
Yeah, there's all kinds of faces.
With a
on
flat
there.
head.
That was fun. So yeah, he had like the regular 2 slice toaster. He had that. He had a couple of really weird ones.
balls.
Just one I've
See,
never
look,
seen
how
before.
long was this lecture? Because I feel like it should have been at least 5 hours. He covered a lot
It
of
was
bases.
20 minutes. It was
Really?
20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Just 20
Yeah,
minutes.
imagine there's a
Hi, Shelley.
whole lot of history.
And he
you
said
know.
that the way he really wanted to do it was kind of be like an old time kind of circus collar guy. He wanted to be somewhere where nobody knew him, like too many people there knew him. But he wanted to be like in a bigger room at the back when people would just walk in and not realize it was him that was presenting, and he would start doing this circus call type of thing with the toaster stuff. I was like, okay.
Because like I can imagine, I imagine all the people that do know him have already heard his toast talk. And I
Well,
was like,
yeah, and
there's,
by this
there's
point-
Tyler the toast guy. He's
Yeah, right,
doing
he's-
his little toast speech.
It was great. And his name was Tom, but then he did the presentation as
I'm the
Tim.
toast man.
It was funny. He changed his name for the presentation. He was Tim,
Tommy
not Tom.
Toastmaster.
No, he changed his name to Tim for the presentation.
Timmy Toastmaster.
Tim
okay.
instead of Tom. I don't know. It was
I am-
crazy.
It was
It
like,
was really
I am
interesting
Tim.
stuff.
The Enchanter.
It was.
No,
it
those
was
are some who
just-
call me
I
Tim.
cannot get it out of my head. That's that's a mark of genius. I'm sorry that it's still
And so it was.
rolling
the first
around
person
in
to
there.
discover toast burnt the sides of the toast and said, "Eureka! I've done it.
well. Then we started pointing out
Put
things.
some butter on it. We're good to go."
Then we all started pointing out things in relation to toast. So somebody said that there was a video game based on the little 1980s screensaver, the flying toaster. If anybody remembers that.
No.
I'm not familiar with the games, but there's a couple of different ones. There's one that
It kind of
you have to
goes-
become a
bounces
piece of toast. There's that was kind of started as a joke. I have to ask my stepkid about that. So there was that, and then
Oh, it's
we went to a
Too much
restaurant,
toast,
and
though.
it was so much toast. And then
Good Lord.
we went to a restaurant, and to pay the thing you put your card in, the card reader was called Toast.
Oh, yeah,
Tripping
toast
on
net.
that. We're like, oh, I go, look, it's called Toast. And then we went, what?
Was that?
odd.
Was that? Oh, hi Virginia. Was that a coincidence,
Virginia
or was
Woolf.
that part of the thing?
No, it was coincidence because we were
Oh, for
we were
goodness sake.
had left.
There-
we were just
I
went
have-
to get something to eat right after that. I'm like, oh my
ToastNet
god,
before.
it's
I've seen
crackers.
ToastNet before on some
ToastNet.
places where I've worked. We've used Toast as our point of sale system.
Oh,
And that's
So
like
it's a pretty
one of the
common thing.
etymologies. It's a toast, as in giving a toast. He talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
that too. The different types of where toast ended up being that it was toasty or toasted, and he even
Or-
coined a few new words like
or-
toastfulness and
Or without hope, toasted.
toastily.
We are so toasted.
Toasted, yeah. We used to say toasted.
we
Now
did
now
too.
we just say cooked.
the time.
Yeah.
We're so cooked.
Oh, no, we used to say
wasted.
toasted to like mean, really stoned. And
That too.
yeah, I thought of another one then, and it's gone now.
So yeah, that
But,
was
yeah.
just
Ah,
fascinating.
toasted.
Not sorry.
You had powdered toast man. That was in Ren and Stimpy, I think, wasn't it? Powdered toast man.
Oh yes, powdered toast man. Oh my god. That's brilliant.
Anyway,
Wish I'd
superhero-
remembered that.
Superhero status.
I love powdered toast man.
So this cognitive flexibility.
face.
See,
Yeah.
I try and do that, and I've tried to do it for a long time. Partly it was because like I was annoyed by feeling that certain things have been trying to tell me, oh, this is how things are, and then it was like,
Right.
well, you've been holding back on me, haven't you? Like at
Yeah.
school, like physics, I was kept badgering my physics teacher in one lesson about the nature of light, and it's like, and I said, but like when it comes to atomic structure, we were told it was like circles of electrons round the nucleus of protons and electrons. Now I find out it's probability fields of stuff. What are you talking about? And there were reasons for that, but so then it's like, I don't know if I believe in anything 100%, but there are definitely some things that are far more likely than others.
Right.
I feel like
Yeah.
like when they show us pictures of like or diagrams of cells or like DNA strands, it's like, is that what that actually looks like? Can you show us more examples of what that looks like in a microscope? Because I'm going by whatever this little computer generated thing is that you're drawn that's in your textbook. I don't.
Hey, boomer.
That doesn't help. I want to know what an atom looks like.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think.
I just don't trust the little diagrams or the
did
models
you
that
ever-
we had to make with like styrofoam and toothpicks.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, because if an electron shell is a map of probability, and they don't tend to be sphere shaped, there's like 3 or 4 different shapes they tend to be. Then yeah, those models are out of whack. But when it comes to talking about structure or whatever, then they're a good like approximation, I guess. Like I say, there are reasons, and I understood the reasons even as a teenager as to why they do schooling like that. But it was also, the church was telling me things were one way, science was telling me it was another way, and I'm thinking, well, you both might have a point, but neither of you are actually, capturing
Yeah. Right.
the fullness
Nobody
of anything.
has
And
it.
I won't ever know the fullness of anything. There's no way that I will ever know the fullness of anything. So all I can do is what we all do, which is make the best judgments on the information available.
Right.
But,
you
and
contemplate
that's
it,
part of,
right?
part of the cognitive flexibility. Because if you are absolutely convinced that something is this way and it's like set in stone for you, it's a scripture and then when if eventually that gets broken, that can potentially break you, because you've kind of built your whole understanding of everything around.
And then you
certain
start
outlook.
developing
Could be wrong.
cognitive dissonance.
Well,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
isn't
fine, yeah.
science built on disproving theories, right? The whole scientific theory is to come up with a what do they call it?
Objective.
To come up with a question, or like, I think this will happen if I do this type of thing, and to disprove that. That's
cause
the
and effect.
scientific, right? The scientific method is you're actually trying to disprove what you think will happen, not trying to prove it.
Yeah.
So you're
yeah,
constantly questioning everything.
you want to test
even
your hypothesis. That's the way it's
That's
supposed
it.
to be done.
That's
isn't
the
it?
word
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
It leaves room
Hypothesis,
for
thank
error.
you.
It leaves room for error. Like
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're willing to admit that you can be and will often be wrong. You
Yeah,
know,
and that's
that,
the thing. Is because I think, like with what you're saying, Justin, like that's why principally, I put my faith in science, and I use faith because it's still mediated to me by other people, right? And I could study and become an expert in one field, but I'm never going to be able to study and be an expert in all of them. So at some point, you've got to have faith in other people and other things. I personally believe.
You
But
know,
the thing about
Right.
science is that science is like anything else that's human. It is susceptible to bias, to money and power influence, and things like that. So
Right.
this is why I say, like, you know, I could read the best like study ever, the largest number of people involved ever, and I'm still going to look at it or try and look at it critically. But that's
One
not to
of-
say I don't believe in anything, because I think that way
Right.
madness lies.
I think it's
kind of-
called having a healthy God, I cannot think tonight.
Skepticism.
Yes, thank you. God, Jesus. Yes. Thank you. Sorry,
There's a
E.
song by ICP where it's called Miracles, and it's kind of funny that because like you're talking about like
Sunshine.
scientists telling you things, or people just like sort of trying to tell and explain things to you, but not really doing it well enough. And I feel like that's really kind of what, like where the song Miracles, which is like heavily memed, by the way, because that's the one where they say fucking magnets, how do they work? And it's so commonly memed because it's like, because there's a scientific explanation for it, but these guys are coming at it from a stance of like, when you were a kid and how you didn't understand things and you were curious about stuff and you wanted to know how these things work. And you go to a scientist, he says, and I don't want to talk to no fucking scientist because y'all be getting me pissed. It's because like they like you're talking about like showing us like they're showing us models of electrons and stuff, and that doesn't really, I feel like it doesn't even really get to how the stuff works. What
Yeah.
how do you know this? The kind of stuff. It's like, so it's kind of just, it's like just looking for depth in something,
Virginia
Yeah.
Woolf, it's a
Not-
tardigrade. That's a tardigrade.
Yeah,
Alright.
otherwise known as water bears, and they're very resilient little creatures. They are about 0.5 millimeter in size, apparently, full grown, but they can like survive in outer space in vacuums. They
Yep.
can be dried out. In actual fact, they go into like a torpor, or it's not like hibernation, because they literally just dry out. And then you can like put water on them years later, and they just come back to life. They're,
just
they're
come back to
amazing.
life.
freeze-dried tardigrade.
Oh my God, that's
They are amazing. Yeah, and I like that bird finger. Scientists, real ones, do not answer. They question. And it's like one of my favorite quotes for years and years was is attributed to Socrates, and it says, "All I know is that I know nothing," which I think is
Yeah.
really cool, right? And then
Yeah.
with the internet, in the last 5 years, I went and looked that up to try and read a bit more around it, and I found out that he might not have said that exactly because of the issues about translation and the time involved.
And Plato.
And
Plato
then I
wrote it
found
all
out that
down.
he may not have said it at all, that he may have been quoting somebody else. And in the end, it was like, well, somebody probably said something like this about 2,000 years ago, but we're
It
not.
doesn't really
So
matter.
the quote, "All I know is I know nothing," by Socrates, well,
Ellie!
I don't even know anything about that quote anymore, which just goes to prove the point.
Right.
Hey, Ali.
But
I just
it
thought
ends
that was
up that
irony and hilarious that after like 20 odd years or something of loving that quote, I'd eventually find out, well, it probably wasn't actually said like this, and it probably wasn't Socrates. The quote about not knowing anything.
right. But the thing is about it is that that's what wisdom is, right? Knowing that really you know nothing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I don't remember if I heard it in the context of Socrates or something else either. I'm not even sure if I even learned that was Socrates or
Well,
not.
they to me, it's a great idea, and some evidence that supports the idea that it's a great idea is its longevity and its repetition through time and different cultures. Like the golden rule, treat everyone as you wish to be treated. Like every major world religion has some version of that within it. So
Yep. Tenfold law of the universe.
there's probably something to that, right? Then, if every major world religion has
Exactly.
got a version of that, there's probably something
Yeah.
to that. Yeah.
That's like to me that's
Hi,
just a
Ellie.
natural force. Ellie G, thank you for having me. It was awesome and introducing me to all your friends and everything. It was so cool. I had a
Yeah,
great
it
time.
sounds really cool.
And I'm hoping to drag some of
I want
these
to
other
go.
people in
It
chat
sounds
with me.
it sounds like
Love
Camden
it.
or something at its best.
Oh, it was
sounds
so
like.
cool. It's such an art town. It's art and music and everybody's super cool and just met a bunch of really cool people. I mean, I met a guy that rapped while he drew people around him. No kidding. Ricky.
Just stop.
He's drawing.
Just stop.
And he's rapping and I'm like, dude.
Is he drawing the people that he's rapping about at the same? Yeah,
He's
there's only-
he's drawing everybody in the room. He drew me, he drew Allie, he drew Allie drawing. It was so cool. I was just like, this is just fucking cool,
There's no need, like the thing is, you've already got two talents, but then to do them at the same time, could you just behave?
I know. It was so
Oh,
exciting.
behave.
And then Jazz Cat, my friend Mark, and then of course just the whole in the punk band, Witch Please. It was this guy Chris McKee. It was great. It was so good.
Jeez.
And
Nice.
he was covered in words. It looked like newspaper, but it wasn't. It was paper, and he had a complete mask. I mean, like just eye holes, nose holes, and a mouth hole. It was all words, and it was all over his body. It was really cool.
Were they like lyrics to the songs or his timings or?
Don't know because I couldn't really get close enough to tell exactly what it said. But a lot of because he's an artist too, and a lot of his art incorporated that theme, that whole
Right.
theme.
Of
So I
words.
think it was almost like he
Right.
was doing he himself was an
Yeah,
art
yeah.
piece. Like he was a sculpture, a drummer
should do.
sculpture.
What we should
fun.
do is so you're gonna play violin. I should actually either bring my bass or bring
Awesome.
bring
Yes.
my jaw harp, and then we can like get some like weird costumes
Oh,
that
we
are all like
could.
polka dot covered and
Oh,
be
it'd
like
be fun.
Anjane Dupoitrine. Have you ever seen Anjane
I just keep seeing
Dupoitrine?
thumbnails of them everywhere.
You should
I
actually
will
watch
do that,
stuff.
Allie.
I'm not going to.
Thank
I am
you.
not going to until the algorithm stops me, and then I might after that. But while they keep
No,
showing,
you
no,
should
I'm not
actually
doing it.
listen to them though. They're kind of cool to like hear, but it's so funny to watch because like the drummer, he's got this big like I don't know headpiece
Big
on,
head.
and it's
Yeah.
got this big nose that just swings back and forth
Get outta here.
as he plays, and he's just like. He's just doing this, and like his eyes are like right here, and you can kind of see the hole where his eyes are. But the
Yes.
nose is like up. It's just go bump, bump. And I imagine this guy would be really annoying, having this fucking bag just hitting your
Yeah,
forehead.
right.
But like, and like the guitarist, he's got his like weird like polka dot sort of thing with like a big long ass nose or nose or something. It's just so fucking funny. You should
Oh,
watch it. though.
Boomer!
It's-
They had Auntie Dawn here the whole time I was gone. So don't. They're fine. They just miss me and they're trying to jump on my lap constantly.
Oh, Mummy's back.
my
Mummy's back.
Mew Mews. Yeah.
Next year they want Azura. Yeah, you. Oh man, you. It's like
Yep.
you're going to be sending a flipping YouTube delegation down to the art town. It'd be awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh, might happen. It might just happen, but it's
so cool.
it's really really
It's great
fun.
when internet famouses meet up in real life. It's cool. I love it.
It is really cool. It's really nice to meet people in real life, like E. and Allie. And I've met
Aw.
Michael Songs and Maria, and I met Al and Falkenblueser, or Al and Heather.
Does Michael
Falkenblueser
look
and
as well
Feisty.
turned out in real life as he does on screen?
Michael, yes. He's very tall. He's so
very
tall.
dapper, isn't he? He's very dapper.
Yeah, and the suits, everything. It's all real. What you see is what you get. Yes.
Oh,
that's
I'm
who they
gonna
are.
turn my camera on. I tried to, because people are mentioning Azura, and we
Yeah.
have
He-
Azura here on a patch,
Oh,
Look.
cool!
which I still,
Yes,
as you
she
can tell, is not on my hat because
I love her.
I'm shit. But yeah, there we go. I have an easel, and I thought, oh look, I bet Azura just fits on that easel. Hey,
That is so cool.
she's
I know, yeah.
she's had a little bit too many baby butt. That's why she's had too many. It's intoxicated her. Also, this little guy here, I
love
think
that.
looks a little bit like one of Ali's characters. So this little guy is called Skid, and Skid is just going to sit there because Skid and the Azura are now
And
friends.
James.
That's
So-
cute.
Yeah, it's Skid and Azura.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What up,
So
James?
I
Azura
may
has a
find
buddy.
other things to put on the easel on other weeks. I might just write cards out that
Hey,
say
James. Matt James, yep.
"You smell."
And Scotty Butters.
Who knows?
So yeah, we'll get a caravan next year and go out to and invade Buffalo because we could do that. I mean, just
Invade
rent that
Buffalo.
Airbnb again. It was awesome. It was great. I would never do it differently. Seriously, it was a nice little escape. I could have people over if I wanted. It was great. So that was really cool. Instead of just being in a hotel room,
Hi, James.
I could cook my own food too, which was nice. I did that a couple of times. It was great. So, anyway, it was a very exciting few days there. And I know that they went all day today too, so that was cool. I wish I could have been there, but I had to come home. Anywho, so it does tie into what we're talking about, which is connection, a strong support system, a community of people that support each other, right? It's like this community. I think we support each other pretty well, as a YouTube community goes. And that community was amazing, just incredible how they, put each other and forward and promoted each other and helped each other out, and it was just awesome. Really, really cool people.
Yeah, and it's different. Like you've got musicians, but you've got painters like Ali, and you've got like a guy who does performance art, but also some other artwork with this stuff. So like it sounds like there's a bit of a variety of things going on as well.
Yep, there was another guy that was rapping, and he was doing it in this place they called Green Space. So it was a big, actually not big. It was a tiny park, like almost like
Okay.
a street corner almost, right?
Right.
And with several things set up. So the clowns were there, and that's where I took that picture, that FCK Ice picture.
Oh yeah.
And then there was a little art exhibit, and then there was a guy where you could go put on headphones, and the music would go, and he would
Where's-
rap over it. And his name was Cash is, God, what was his name, Allie? Cash is something. He was on IG too. He was really good.
Is that Cassius as in
Cashews?
two separate words, or Cassius as in Cassius Clay?
It's as in Cassius Clay, but it's Cash is, so Cashhis. Yeah. Cash
Oh,
is
but all
green.
one word.
That's it. Cash is
All-
green. So
Is Cash
Cash
one
is
word?
is one word,
Okay.
and then green.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cashews.
Cash is green. Yeah, he was really, really good, and he was a cool dude. He was a really cool guy. and they had bubbles. There was a lady that did a special bubble formula, and she made
Oh, the
bubble
bubbles.
maker things, really nice, strung together ones, and they were all rainbowy. And if you could order one from her, and she would just make it custom for
What,
you.
she'd post a bubble to you? How'd she do that?
Well, she make the bubble things, so it was
Why
like,
the
you know,
fuck before it
rings.
gets to you?
It was a bubble wand. That's what they called it, a bubble wand. So it was like a wand with like a macrame string of these circles, and they were different colors. And she would dip them in this specially formulated bubble stuff that she made. And she flung them in the air, and they were huge bubbles, and they were purple and blue and yellow and all these different colors
different
because
colours
she
as
had
well.
formulated that. It was really cool.
Oh.
Yeah, Bubble-O,
I'm
the
very-
LLC. Yes,
I'm-
her name's Lauren.
Kentucky Jelly.
Her, yep,
Intriguing.
yep. This is it. This is it. Yes, yes,
The-
yes,
the-
yes.
The bubbles.
This is
at
the
different
warming
colours.
stuff.
We've been
Bubbles at
baking
different
soda.
colours. Do they also taste different as well?
I didn't. It
Asking
didn't try
for a
that.
friend. Okay. Cool.
I did not try that. I just
I
popped
just-
them.
Spermicide.
Speaking of tasty bubbles, you can get bubbles for your dog that taste like bacon.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Which I just think, oh my
Just-
god, some dogs just love eating bubbles anyway. But you can imagine the first time they child on one of those, they're going to be like, "Oh my god, it's Christmas on my birthday!"
That would be
Amazing.
really funny to see the look on a dog's face.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh,
Like that
Oh.
Ermagerd
Mhm.
look with their eyes get really big. Like, ooh.
yeah. Amazing. No, so the bubbles are different colours. That's all. But just saying, I'm still intrigued. If she posts a bubble to you, what's going to stop it bursting in transit?
Well, no, I couldn't keep the bubble, but you can order the thing to make the bubbles.
Oh, you can
The
order the
bubble
bubble
wand.
wand.
It's the wand. Yeah, you can
Oh,
order
I
that.
thought she was
and-
posting
Yeah,
bubbles.
actually
I was
trying to
well
mail
impressed.
it.
Yeah,
bubble.
you can't know. I mean, but the thing was though about that is that even after the bubbles like popped, some of them were half domes on the street.
Oh,
They were
cool.
still formed in like little worlds.
You know what was really cool? When
cool.
during like a family get together back when I was vaping, one of the I grabbed one of the kids' bubble wands, and I hit the vape and I blew the vape
Oh,
into the
the
wand,
vapor.
and
in
it
there.
and it makes a bubble with the vapor in it,
Yeah.
so it's a nice little cloud. And the kids were so amazed by it. They're like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" So they're
It's cool.
popping it, and it just
The
you know,
vapor goes. Yeah, that's
it
cool.
hits the ground and it just goes. and
That's
it
really
spreads
cool.
out like
Oh, nice.
this is just fun.
Yeah.
Boomer, my
amazing
cats
is-
are fighting anyway.
One of the kids
Sometime.
one of the kids call it a cancer bubble.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's what we
no.
used to do to our parents. Say, "Oh, you with those cancer sticks again?"
Oh, yeah.
Now, well,
Cancer bubbles.
I was going to say something. It's gone.
I do the vapor. I don't smoke anymore. I used to like to, but anyway, we're not going to go there. Yeah, so anyway, it's just about the
Oh,
strong
Tom.
support system and yeah.
Yeah.
And
Years ago on telly, I saw a guy who used to make bubbles and then blow smoke into them, and he did this thing where he had a big bubble at the top and one at the bottom, and then did a series of smaller bubbles on the seam, and then you could blow it, and the whole thing turned like a carousel. And then he did another one
Oh,
where
wild.
the central space you didn't realize this till the end. He made all these bubbles, and because of the way that they met, in the central space, he got a straw and blew smoke into it, and it was a cube. So it was this nice little smoky cube in the middle of all these bubbles. It was so
So
good.
cool.
It was well impressive.
oh, and there was this little space next to the gallery, the Small Walls gallery.
Gary Sunshine.
That
Sunny.
was the Octopus's Garden. and it was all little scenes of artfully put together underwater scenes, and there were black lights. There was this big thing of coral that she had constructed, a jellyfish constructed with balloons and different like tinsel, and it was so cool. And then they put
That
black
sounds
lights
good.
on them.
Yeah,
And then
that sounds cool.
they had bubble machines
Hi, Frank.
that were throwing bubbles, so
Hi,
it made
Gary.
it, hey Frank, made it look like you were
Hi,
underwater.
Frank.
I love the sound of that.
I like to be
That sounds nice.
under the sea. Yeah, that was the whole
That's
theme.
the thing all I could think of was the Beatles when you said that. Octopus Garden.
Yeah, and that was kind of the theme of it, was being in an octopus's garden. It was so lovely. It was really cool. I thought that was really neat. And then there was the guy like dressed as an octopus, but I couldn't catch him. He was like busy off doing something, so I didn't catch his. He had this big orange octopus outfit on. It was really cool. I was like, oh, I wanted to take a picture of him, but I didn't get to. But way, way, way cool. Just the art and all the work and care that went into a lot of this stuff was amazing. Not to mention just the
So what?
art.
What about So I think like we talked about cognitive flexibility. How is having connections and social connections like useful for resilience?
Well, I
It
think
seems
it.
really obvious, but
Yeah, it's a support system, right?
Yeah.
It's a way, people that you can lean on, where you can count on them for help or just, support. Just doing what you love to do and supporting that is healing, I think. At least for me, for sure. Music and art has been absolutely the prime healer for me. In this community, being able to do that is awesome. I mean, I do it every day now instead of just, once in a blue moon. So it really helps to have, any type of support system, even family or any kind of friends to help you carry on, right? It just a good conversation can do that with a good friend for me.
yeah, you see, Pookie's saying unless you keep everything to yourself, beamy,
Yeah.
beamy smiley face. Now I remember another chat where she was talking about how she didn't she had to be spoken to severely spoken to in order to accept help after her what was it that reminds me now, yeah, the fuck, speaking of resilience, Pookie's in chat. What was it? Oh, I just carried on doing 5 hours work a day while I had chemo, and then within 2 weeks after that I was back at doing 12-hour shifts. What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shit.
Yeah.
Whatever they make you out of, Pookie, they need to spread some around. Jesus.
I know. we need
bunkers out
we
of
need
Pookie
Pookie
material.
DNA.
Right? Jeez.
He needs a cloner. Right. Yeah.
That shit.
But that's, I'm that kind of, I can be like that too. It's called being avoidant. And I discovered that myself last year, that was me. I am that person. I don't like to ask for help. I know I don't, but I was really put in a position last year where I could not help it. Right?
Yeah.
It was impossible for me to not ask for help. And thankfully, I had family, all over the place, step right up. I even had friends from work say, if you don't have a place to stay, I have a room for you, which was like, wow.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So that kind of support system, when something tragic happens to you, you lose your home, and they open their doors to you. That's pretty incredible stuff right there.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible. I take it Pookie told fibs then, after her biopsy, or before her biopsy, which I can understand. Like, nobody wants to stay in hospital, but that's the thing, isn't it, as well? Like I suppose, one of the things about resilience is having some understanding of what your limits are, And when, because being self-sufficient and being strong and all that is great, but if you do that to the point of then it's like, you need help and you're not taking any, and you're actually like damaging yourself on
Right.
top
That could
of
be
what
a
you're
bit-
already going through.
Exactly.
Really a bit
But again,
stubborn.
like, it's different for everyone, isn't it? Because some people it would actually damage them more if they asked for help, I guess. But
I could be a bit stubborn. Like when I stay in the like when I had to stay in the hospital, for about almost like it was about a month or two, and like they were like we're gonna we'll just like for like bathing for example, we'll just we'll do the whole sponge bath thing or whatever. No, I'm getting out of this bed and I'm they're going to do the hard way. We'll sponge bath you. We're gonna have to wrap you all up in plastic and you can take a shower yourself. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna do the hard way then. Because like I can't just I'm not comfortable with just someone sponge bathing me.
Right.
Like going to the bathroom, they wanted me to call for assistance every time. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it myself. Like there was just some things like cleaning up in my I keep calling it a hotel room. It's a hospital room. Not nowhere near as nice, but
Yeah.
No, it's not. I know.
at least there's no bed bugs, But anyway,
Right.
so it's like.
Yeah.
But it's like I like even cleaning up in my hospital room. Like I had to get up and do it myself because I couldn't stand just letting
Yeah.
I was like I'm one of those people like I know I'm like I'm supposed to be just relaxing in the hotel or hospital room. Fuck. Hospital room. I was supposed to be just relaxing, but I just can't do it. And like they even said like
There's
you're
no
too
relaxing in a
self-reliant.
hospital. But there's
You're
no
too
relaxing in a
self-reliant. You're even doing your laundry in the shower because you're like, well, I have to. You got no laundry facilities. I need clothes.
But the
So
point
it's like-
is that you sometimes have to ask for help, and you should. There are times that you should, and that, we can't be too stubborn because then that's to your detriment, right? That's what I mean. It's a
That's
fine
why I'm
line
saying, like,
of,
and it's going to be different for everybody, and your lines will probably change through your life as well because the context of the situation you're in will be better or worse when shit hits the fan.
right.
So,
Like with my trip, I was able to dude it myself, that was fine. I didn't need anybody
do
with
it
me.
yourself.
I was fine. I could, but it might be more enjoyable to have people along with me next time. Just
Oh, yeah,
saying.
definitely have some conversation on the on the road.
Yeah,
So,
instead of
and-
just with myself or the radio, which is kind of getting bad. So, there, like you say, there's a line that it can change. It depends on what you're doing and what's happening, what's going on. In a case like chemo and being very ill, Pookie, you should have accepted Kevin's help. You.
well, that's the thing, though. Miki's saying that she was she did it okay, and it's
And I'm
different for
glad
different
she
people,
did,
isn't
yeah.
it? But yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I still
I'm
think
glad
it's
she did.
pretty impressive, but
It is impressive.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend that went through a shoulder replacement, but she stayed with her mom for 2 weeks, but that was her tolerance level. Staying at her
Right,
parents'
yeah,
house,
yeah,
and she was like, "Bye." So after this, she's like, "I'm gonna do it myself. I'm good. I'm good. Really."
I'm worried
don't
for
wanna
your
be here.
safety as my shoulder gets progressively better. Time for me to go.
See now, Mom, I can punch you. Boof.
Yeah, exactly. Now both my
Yeah.
shoulders are working. I might strangle you.
Exactly. Like, I gotta go. So,
Yeah.
again, fine line, balance. You gotta find that.
Well, Pookie did leak a little bit, but hopefully it was only a little leak.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. With all that, that's another whole program about how they send you home very, very early after surgery. My mom had breast cancer, and she had a mastectomy, full mastectomy. It was her left side, and they sent her home with drainage tubes and everything. I had to go and help her because it was like, you should be still in the hospital. My mom's like, no, it's cool. I don't want to be. I'm like, I know you don't. No one wants to be in a hospital. Okay. No one should want to be in a hospital either. But like, you actually, you know, I'm like, you really should be. I mean, drainage tubes, come on. But that's what they, I don't know if they do that anymore, but they used to. And it was
The thing
lousy.
is, like, there's been a bit of a change in that they want people to go home as soon as possible because it helps with healing. But then, like you say, because, like, here the NHS is underfunded, mismanaged, and you have to wait ages for a lot of things and all the rest of it. So, so it's kind of, not only is the medical evidence saying, oh, it's better if people go home sooner rather than later, it's also they want to get you out of beds because there aren't enough of them. So
Exactly.
and that
Yep.
makes you then think that maybe they're going too far the other way, like you say, where it's like, okay, everybody wants to be home ASAP, is good for recovery, but you're sending people home that need care that haven't got any, and it's not like they fib to you, Pookie, but it's like, you know, and there's no resources, so yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's like Mr. Smith, like, he's,
Yeah, I'm glad
Godspeed,
Smith
Mr.
is getting
Smith.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have gotten a little bit sooner, you know.
Yeah.
I'm really
But-
not happy about that. He's been suffering for over a year and going to the doctors, and the
It
things
does make
that
more
they told
sense
him
though
were
with what
insane.
Valley was explaining about the pneumonia and lymphoma potentially like masking
Like, how
each
many
other. So
times-
that kind of makes more sense about
How
it.
many times you guys show up with problems before they realize that, it's something much deeper,
My thing,
Yeah,
though, is all of
like-
his glands were swollen. So why didn't they, usually here, and I have a girlfriend, very, very dear friend of mine, who was misdiagnosed. She's a vegetarian, has been her whole life, okay? Does not eat meat, doesn't even like it. At 48, she had anemia. All of a sudden, she had fainting spells. She was feeling terrible. And she went to this one hospital that they actually here called Death Valley. It's called Huron Valley, but it's Death Valley. Even U of M calls it Death Valley. She went there in an emergency, and they told her that she was anemic because she was vegetarian.
Right,
I
well.
end up, it was bullshit. I looked it up, and the first thing that came up on a Google of all things was right side colon cancer. So actually, she didn't tell me that this happened until a year later when it actually hit her, and just like Smithy, she was suffering, and she went to another doctor, and then they told her she had colon cancer. And she
Right.
called me in
That's-
desperation, and I knew somebody at another hospital, and I got her in there, and thank God I did, because now she's in full remission. But
Because the
it
thing
was-
is, you can be vegetarian or vegan, and you might be more prone to anemia, sorry, and lots of other things if you don't eat properly. But by the same token, you can be subject to a lot of things if you don't eat properly and you eat meat and fish. So
exactly.
you can't just go, oh well, you have this diet, so therefore that's not
It's
the way
this.
you do things. It's like
No,
you say, you
it-
should then maybe like look at your hypothesis rather than just going, right, that's it.
Right?
It's honestly like the problem is that you get people that are medically trained, nurses and doctors, and then they ignore their training and just go along with their pre-existing prejudices. Like some of the
No.
things that I've heard, because like my family's in the NHS, I was in it for a very short while, and some of the things you hear are just like both on a general physical ward and a mental health ward are just jaw dropping. You're just like, what?
Yeah,
Was that
here
another
it's
patient? Oh, it was the doctor. Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
my
bad.
dad had a bad experience where Doctor told him that he was going to need to have a leg amputated.
Ooh.
And had him in a bit of a downward spiral for a little bit. And my mom said, I don't believe that. Talk to another doctor. So he did.
Second opinion, yeah.
And doctor said that doctor's full of shit and you should file a lawsuit against his ass.
Oh, blimey.
Like,
There's a lot of them like that. I mean, with my husband, he was going to a doctor that he worked for. He worked for the guy, and all the guy wanted to talk about was work, and he never wanted to talk about his condition, and we constantly would tell him, and he wouldn't refer us anywhere. And I ended up having to go through my insurance, get a different doctor to refer him to actually a rheumatoid arthritis doctor who looked at him and said, you have some kind of nerve condition. I can't do it, but I know who to send you to. And she sent us to U of M Hospital. And that was the only way. But by that time, he'd already lost his legs. And should I have sued that son of a... Yeah, I should have. I really wanted to, but Kurt didn't want me to. So I didn't. And that's what happened. But, yeah. Doctors tend to piss me off.
Yeah, unfortunately, they annoy, again, they annoy nurses. It's like anything. You get great doctors and you get rubbish ones, but there is a stereotype about, arrogance and all the rest of it, and it's, yeah.
I'll tell you what, my doctor isn't a doctor, he's a nurse practitioner, and he's the best doctor I ever had. Ever. He's awesome.
I think, because nurse practitioners, they do extra training, and they, certainly here anyway, they can prescribe and things like that.
Yes.
And I think, if you get a good nurse practice, stereotype wise, if you get a good nurse practitioner, you pretty much don't bother with the doctor.
Exactly. I don't. It's great. He's awesome.
If it weren't for doctors, I wouldn't be alive today. So,
Hater
I mean, kind of,
yeah. I'm not talking about their knowledge or skill. It's just some of their attitudes. And again, it is a stereotype because I've met doctors that are amazing. But I mean, there's that stereotype of we had to interrupt the doctor's golfing round to come to the ward, and that actually happened one time. And I was just like, he complained about what now?
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's awful. What a jerk.
I mean, but I was going on to say, doctors can't live with them, can't live without them.
Yeah. Well, and it depends on what you're dealing with. Like, if you're dealing generally heart conditions, I want to say they do pretty well with. Like when I broke my bones, they do pretty well with that, right? But when it comes down to autoimmune diseases or things that are more not pinpointable, they're not so good at it. I've caught doctors Googling things just like I did. Like, excuse me, I can do that. And I've already done it. Let me just tell you what I found. How about that? I've literally walked up to a doctor and said that to him. Like, hey, I've already done that. Why don't I just tell you what I found in the research? Go here, go here. Go to NIH, go here.
Yeah, I mean, some of those autoimmune conditions were dismissed as like yuppie flu and in people's heads and imaginations and everything like that. So,
yep.
And they're still I know someone who's got POP and is it Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? And again, that was just years of just being fobbed off. Yeah. Just nobody. When I first took Kurt into the hospital, he was in a fetal position on the floor. He couldn't even move. And I got him in there, and they were shocked to find out he was depleted in every single vitamin and mineral that was known to man. And I looked at them in disbelief. I'm like, how? He eats? It's not like I'm starving him. I mean, I didn't lock him up in a cage and feed him poop. He's eating food. How the hell is that happening?
I think poop even has vitamins and minerals in it.
Something up from it. We were eating good stuff. We were making food. You know, and I'm like, I don't understand that, you know, and they were like, meh. And I'm like, what do you mean, meh? You know? And we insisted him stay there until they figured something out. And they literally.
How do they just go, like, just let him go? Like, yeah, no, he's completely devoid of all vitamins and minerals known to man. But
Well, they were going to put them all back in him, but I'm like, okay, well, but how do we keep them in there? You know, I can't just take him home and feed him food because that's not working. Okay?
Seal
so,
off, just seal off every orifice with Flex Seal. Keep everything in there.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
Don't take me to a doctor. I'm not a doctor. If I'd be a horrible doctor, I lost all my patience.
You lost your patience and your patience. Play on words there. Not sorry. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, I'm not a fan of doctors at all. Sorry, I got something in my throat. And you guys didn't need to hear that. But anyway.
No. Hey, Laurie.
Yeah, I could be a doctor. I just need to read
Laurie.
your closet, Laurie.
He's not a doctor.
What?
What?
Find the sexy nurse costume in there somewhere.
Hey, nice.
I was saying to Laurie because I've caught some of her covers recently, and the hi Laurie, the duets that she's doing with people like Brad Example and covering a John Prine song, which I love that song anyway. I don't know an awful lot by John Prine, but that song is just very funny. And I was saying to her, like,
tune.
she covered Clawfinger, and then it was like Heavy Metal Band, and then it was like John Prine, and then it's like, you know, some 80s like song. And I was saying to her, you've got such an eclectic taste of music, and she's like, yeah, that's why I'm called Mishmosh.
Right.
It's like it's a mish, and I was like, that's so cool. I did wonder about the name as well, and I was like, that makes so much sense. It's a mish, and she likes to mosh. It just makes so much sense. I'm such an idiot for not seeing it before.
I was today years old when I learned this.
Yeah, right. TIL.
But you know what? That's a good thing. We're all you're supposed to constantly learn. Right. Anybody that thinks that they stop learning at any point because whatever age they are, stop it. Don't do that.
Cognitive flexibility. And that's the thing, right? I'm not into like horror as such. Like, it's not my go-to genre or whatever, but I was like very strongly encouraged, nagged to read Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice.
That's a good book.
I was about halfway through it when the film came out, and I was so upset because I didn't want to see the film before I'd read the book. But my partner at the time, who'd got me to read the book, wanted to see it on the big screen, so I was like, oh, okay then. But I think, like, having read, because after I've read pretty much all the books after that, and one of the central themes I think in those books is that one of the best way for a vampire to last the ages and either not go insane or get killed or whatever, or not lose their power, is to have that cognitive flexibility to link with the contemporary human culture and be able to adapt to it and thrive in it. And so,
exactly.
and that's the thing, there's that phrase, like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Some of these guys and women are like hundreds of, if not thousands of years old, and they're still able to have a thread, you know, through their life of engaging with the times that they find and the places that they find themselves in. Hi, Don Father. So I just thought that was, you know, that was because even some of the vampires say, like, one of the, you know, we're alive, but to stop ourselves from going insane, we have to reconcile ourselves to this time. We have to have that cognitive flexibility.
Right.
And that's so much harder to maintain over hundreds of years. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that. But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I read the whole I was.
But
really
I still think that's the thing. Like,
Rice.
you know, you get people that, like you say, they get to a certain age and they think, right, I know everything now. They shut down their cognitive flexibility, and then they just start to get angry and angrier about everything around the world. You know, and everything's different to them, even though it's like variations on a theme often. So.
Yeah,
Man, you'd just be bored if you really like knew everything. Like, I'm sure omnipotence would be like an actual pain in the ass because you'd be like,
Yeah.
You just know everything. You know things you don't even want to know. You know, you're like,
Yeah. It,
and what do you do after that? Where's the excitement in life? Because you already know it. You already know it's
Yeah,
coming. You
'cause
know it's there.
yeah, like asking
there
questions
should
and being curious, I think is it's a
there should
big
be some kind of wonder in life,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
That's a good way of putting it.
because then you'll it will cause you to seek an answer somewhere, to research something like, you know, like we were talking about atoms, like what does an atom really look like? Has anyone ever photographed an atom? And then go research that, you know, or whatever, you know, a quasar. What does that look like? Have we ever been able to
Yeah,
take a picture through a telescope of a quasar?
yeah,
Or there are things that they have deemed impossible to occur in space, yet with these new telescopes that they have, they've found those exact things that they thought were impossible.
yeah. I mean,
That's what's fascinating to me.
black holes were a theory and kind of an accepted feature in science fiction and science for years, but it was a long time before they had any direct evidence of their existence. So, hi Cascadia.
Yeah,
Yes, and who
CWS.
wants to endure hundreds of years of memes? There is that.
Into hundreds of years of
I only
me.
had like
No,
15 years
being
of
immortal,
this.
being an immortal and having a lifestyle of just going places and like cutting off other immortals' heads and having like lightning shoot out of their necks while Queen plays in the
What were you
background.
talking about? What
Sounds
was
kind
that
of fun
called?
to me. Highlander.
Highlander?
There can only be one. Or, well, there should have only been one, but they made like 4 of them.
I know. The first one was interesting. I had an ex that was very into that
I'm
whole
not
thing.
drunk, I'm Scottish.
Wasn't there a television series based on it too? I think there was.
Yeah, I think
It was Adrian Paul, and then there was like some other people that were also Highlanders. I don't know.
Yeah,
Point
there was
is,
a whole
What a lifestyle that would be. Just going through the ages,
trying to
chopping
kill
off
each other.
heads.
That was a trip.
A Queen plays in the background, you know.
Wasn't that like Queen's last album though too? I think together with Freddie. I think it was. I think it had to have been. Anyway, that's just hysterical. But yeah. Oh, anyway.
Resilience.
Resilience.
what's next on our list, Justin?
The next thing is setting achievable goals. So it's purpose. Setting achievable goals and engaging in daily activities that give life
we've
meaning.
kind of stumbled on that a little bit because, like he was saying about
Exactly.
curiosity and drive to learn and
Yep.
wanting to
Yeah, we
engage
just
with the
basically
world
did.
and with people.
Yeah.
That's part of why we play music, because that that we learn through that too, and that's
Absolutely. Yep.
sometimes it's like we're gonna try a new technique today and see what we could push. Can I push my speed or something like that?
Yeah.
Or learn time signature. Which
I've met a
talk to
couple of
Mr. Smith about that.
I've met a couple of music PhDs at this thing in Buffalo. I was just like, music PhD. Oh my god, no. I suck at theory. Shutting off. Like, I suck. Goodbye.
I think Bird's making Anthony references in chat there. Look.
Resistance and versus the resilient. I love that. That's great, Bird. Oh my god. And then there's to go on with this, there's actionable strategies that everyone can take, because resilience is something you build. It's like emotional intelligence. It can be learned and you can build it. So if you're not so emotionally resilient now, you can become that way if you practice certain things, right? So the first thing is practice mindfulness, and I've been trying to do this. I'm terrible at this. I'm a
I'm
bit
going to struggle with this
infatuated.
myself. I come back
Yeah.
to the echoes. I think they were probably caused by the spacing between my ears. There's not a lot of mind going on there.
Stop. Well, me too. I got that same problem. And just being, I think what's occurred to me at the beginning of the year is to be more intentional with things, not so random or, kind of meaning to do something instead of accidentally. A lot of times that's
Talking
what
about being
happens to me.
random. You completely missed it. I was just like, bleh.
Look what I can do.
Look what I can do.
Yep, exactly. And
Still
so
work.
I think being intentional is like practicing mindfulness. I think it may go along together, because
my understanding of that word is like being present. Mm-hmm. And that sounds like intentionality as well, that you're in the moment, you're thinking about what you're doing, you're trying to take notice of what's going on around you. That would be
Right.
my understanding of that.
yeah,
But
like
what-
Sometimes I like
focusing.
to be. Sometimes I like to be intentionally not present. Like just dissociate myself from shit. Sometimes,
Yeah.
That can help. I don't know.
I'll
mean,
just come back around and
sometimes-
I'll be like, "I'm sorry, boss. What were you saying? You wanted me to do what now?"
Well, especially if you're waiting for something too, I think that sometimes that can, like, daydreaming is like a dissociation type of thing, but
You
it's
ever-
not
you-
necessarily unhealthy,
Never
Yeah.
just really just dissociate. Like, I mean, like someone's talking and your mind gave up hitting the skip button a long time ago, so it just starts, just that person just starts to drift off into the distance.
I've done that with certain professors, that end up sounding just like Charlie Brown's, mom. Wah, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah,
See,
wah.
I don't know why, but that always made me feel queasy. It was the weirdest thing. Whenever I heard that, I felt queasy. I was like, oh,
Oh, really?
I love.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but for some reason that odd.
Or just that
I love
their
people.
voice just starts to mesh into some weird kind of like feedback and just start hearing.
Oh, God. But yeah, I guess what they're saying is cultivating that self-awareness helps you regulate your emotional responses to stress. And I think that's what started me on that intentionality, because I noticed that not being mindful or not paying attention or focusing on something, I was screwing dumb things up. And I was making myself mad at myself. Like, why did I do that to myself? Why don't you pay more, just focus, be more intentional by it? And it's helped me a little
I
actually pay attention.
I like to just simply not care as much about my mistakes, because like that's kind of the direction we're heading for anyways. I think I mentioned this once before, there was like I don't even remember what it was. It's some company was running some AI thing in the background. It wiped out all of their data and all their research and shit. And then when they went and said, "Hey, what did you do?" and the AI was like, I guess I screwed up. What do you want me to do next?" And I'm like, that right there is how I'm living my life from now on. I give a shit if I fucked up. If I messed something up, oh yeah, I guess that happened, didn't it?
But that's not a bad thing either. I mean, at work, I tend to think it's better to admit a mistake, correct it, and move on
But I think
than it is to
mistakes are great.
deny.
Learning how to make mistakes is great for, you can fail forward. I think I talked about this once before too. High school, I was behind by like 8 credits. So I had to take some kind of I had to do all my classes on this computer program or whatever, and I basically just got to the tests, failed them a couple times, and wrote down the answers that I'd gotten wrong and took them again until I got it right. I got through it in like 2 months.
Kind of sounds like what I
failed
do at work
forward.
on all the training tests I had to take last week. Oh God.
I just essentially learned
exactly
how to fail
what
forward.
I did at work.
When I play missions on GTA 5, I just fuck up a bunch of times until it lets me pass through. I'm like, cool. Failing forward.
I had to
It's like-
take 6 training classes before I took my vacation. I had to take 6 of them. And 4 of the 6 had nothing to do with what I do in my job.
Were there
It had
questions
to-
about toast?
No, not even questions about toast. That would have been fun. and I may have even learned something. But now I have totally useless, crappy information in my head about mortgage loan officers that I will never deal with in my life.
That's one thing that used to annoy the what's the names out of work was like the amount of repetitive jobs I've had and like whole barcodes of 13-digit numbers embedded in my head that I can still remember the first 6 digits to for at least 2 of them.
P1P.
Like 30 years later. I hate it. And it was
long,
no
weren't they?
intention, just dint of repetition. And I'm like, what the hell am I losing that's interesting about toast that's being pushed out by this
Gemma, I love you.
barcode a la Homer Simpson style. Every time I learn something new, regardless of whether it's good or bad, something gets pushed out.
I had that bookmark.
Or
I had that Homer bookmark
Genius.
in my Odyssey book. So it was Homer and Homer.
yeah, you know, and the funny thing is, like after high school, all of that stuff that I had to grind through, I literally dragged that right to I dragged that whole folder right to the recycle bin. Like, I can't. When I had to go through all the math classes, I had to learn shit like trigonometry.
Oh god.
I got really good at it.
I learned
Ask
that.
me how
I
to
got
do
pretty
any
good in
of
the
it now.
class. And then I forgot all of it. Crept
Ask
it
me
right
to
out
do
of my
any of
ear.
it now. I don't know. Look, since high school, I haven't had to solve X and Y for Z or any of that shit. And my math teacher said that I was gonna need this the rest of my life. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
In service, yeah.
There's a case to be made for simple algebra, for example, but
Mm.
trigonometry. There was never
Right,
a
right.
time when I've walked past a ladder leaning against a building and thought, I wonder how long the ladder is. I'll get my
Unless
tape
you're
measure
gonna
out.
be
Or
an
about to be-
engineer or something, you don't need trig.
Or you're about to be struck by a fucking by an object, and you're like, you know, if this cosine and tangent of blah blah blah, how far should I step aside before I get smashed
Oh,
by
too late.
The piano, Squid.
It's
fucking
like that
meteorite? A fucking
It's like
get
that
hit by a
meme with all the
meteorite.
equations around you in the air, right? And all of a sudden you're just flattened by the piano. Oh, Jesus. The amount
Yeah.
of stress that trigonometry caused me, though, and the amount of and then my exam, I don't know how many points it was, like 10. It was not worth the amount of stress that caused me. Oh my god!
You know, I must
Triggered.
have been
Triggered.
slightly,
I'll give you
slightly
fucking
masochistic.
trigonometry.
Triggered by trigonometry. I was really good at geometry, but I suck at algebra real bad. I do algebra in a different way. Like, I think about it in a different way, right? I do replacements and things. I just do algebra in like a 12-year-old way. But it works for me. But I can do
use
geometry
PEMDAS?
just fine, you know? Well, like simple interest calculations and stuff like that are fine.
Or
I
you
can
know,
do that.
the whole PEMDAS thing, which I'm still like, I still don't even remember. entirely what
Imaginary
that-
numbers. What? Stop. No,
Heard
shut
of those? I think
up.
someone just made them up.
Thank you. I'm like, what is
Whatever.
this? Why are you putting this what is this thing next to my letter? I can do logic just fine. If P, then Q. All day long. Logic problems, no problem. You can have 3 pages of logic problems. I'm fine with that. You put numbers in with those letters, I'm like, huh? I don't know why.
That's the thing. I've heard of imaginary numbers, and I thought numbers were imaginary anyway. I know that they also do exist, but they're also But
I can't even explain it to
imagine
you. I don't
numbers.
even
And,
want to
like,
because it's just
yeah,
hurts
and I've
my
heard like
brain.
there's other kinds of numbers as well, and I'm like, this like just ordinary numbers is too much. Why the hell do you have to go and Avril Lavigne it for?
There's so many of them.
Jesus,
So
everything's so
fucking
bloody
many of them. I
complicated.
can only count so many numbers, and I can only count to 4.
I used to sit there in the math lab, right, of college, because they were making me take this damn algebra class. I was like, "Ugh." And then what I had to do is you had to show your work on paper, but they made you enter the answer into the computer. And it wasn't a very good computer program, and you would be trying to enter the right answer, and it would enter the wrong answer and screw you so bad. And I remember like so many times swearing at those computers.
Is this like an audio input, or was the keyboard just shit? I mean, what
Is keyboard shit?
they need?
Mouse.
Keyboards with the proper.
It was.
clicking.
Yeah, and then you would try to click it, because you had to type in an answer, and it wouldn't type it right. Or it
That
would
sounds
type.
like a dirty keyboard. You need to turn it upside down and shake all the toast out of it.
I know, right? It's the toes. But no, it was the lab in this stupid school. And I would end up swearing at that. And the math lab people would come. They were all PhDs in math. And I would look at them like there's something wrong with you.
I'm always impressed with anyone that's fluent with numbers. And it's like I say, like I can appreciate there's a beauty to mathematics, and I love looking at fractals, for example, and things like that. And I like the
Yeah.
ideas about maths, but as for actually working with it, no.
And music is mathematical, and so is Latin.
Yeah.
But how can I do that and not? It's different. It's a language. It's not.
And
It's
and
not
that's what
numbers.
I mean about the beauty of maths, because I can completely understand, and I've like played instruments in the past. I can see how much maths is involved in, there's that's just reading music, and then you get to like transposition and all sorts of other
Right.
funky things.
And time. The time,
and I just
like
think it's
3,
all-
4, 4, 4.
So fascinating, and like harmonics, and then you're getting into like physics
Mm-hmm.
territory, like Shelley's saying about maths and physics. So really, really interesting. But working with that shit, no.
I know, right? And it's like that. I had enough problems trying to do music theory. How many sharps and flats in this key? It's like still I'm not good at that. I have to work at that by doing scales and learning that. Okay, A minor. This is the sharps and flats. Okay, I'm good. But I'm not going to retain that until I'm looking at a piece of music and go, oh, those are the sharps and flats. Okay. So that some people are so good at that, I wish I was better at math. I really do. I think it would make it enhances some things, like it would enhance your experience. What does that say?
Mathemagics. This card actually does use algebra.
Oh my god. Arg.
Target players draws 2 of the X cards, and X is like the quantity that you pay to play the spell.
Brad.
Hey, Brad.
And that's the complex bullshit.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my god.
Can that be
There was-
simplified down to 2 + 2 = 5?
So it's like, it's weird. So it's like target player draws 2 of the X cards. 2 0 = 1. To the first power = 2. To the second 4, so on and so
Well, it's
forth.
got
2
exponents.
cards, isn't it? It's 2 cards.
It's a completely
wrong.
it's an exponent sort of thing.
Oh,
I don't know.
You've got to pick up all the cards.
So yeah, I
Something
mean, you could literally cause a player to run out of cards to draw and make them lose the game with this card. Just by making them draw. If you pay enough mana to play this, you can make that whole motherfucking deck disappear. Magic.
It's magic. F you. Hey, West Plays Music, what's up?
And they're starting to incorporate more complex mathematical stuff in Magic now. So whoopee, I might have to relearn algebra after all.
Now I practice scales, for practice, and to try to learn the sharps and flats, but yeah, it's retaining the information and doing it over and over and over again, where I think that may help me write my melodies, eventually, hopefully.
I don't know. I think it's like once you've learned the shapes of like the scales, and you kind of can go by that a lot. I don't really. People, some people can like spell chords. Like they know how to. They know what all the notes are in A minor seventh or something. They can tell you those. I can't spell chords. I could tell you if I just put a chord up on the DAW that it'll tell me what that chord is. So I'm kind of cheating, I guess, but I don't know. Like I kind of just sometimes I also just lock to a scale and just drag notes around till that sounds good.
Yeah. Wago does rock theory. I let him test me, but I fail a lot. I'll tell you that. I do. I fail a lot. I do. So, and when it gets into stuff like Mixolydian and that kind of, I'm a violin player. That doesn't exist where I'm from,
What the fuck are all these different scales and modes? Why are they?
Yeah.
Those are rabbit holes that you kind of dive into when you really have the time to do it, or if that's really what you want to do. But like,
what I was trying to learn is this stuff called maqam or maqamat. It's an Arabic scale, right? Or Turkish, Middle Eastern music, because it's got all those awesome glisses. And so I was trying to teach myself that, and I learned that there's a flat of a flat and a sharp of a sharp.
Oh my goodness.
So that gets some, talk about interesting mathematics there. An eighth of a...
Is that getting into what they call microtones?
Yeah, it sounds kind of microtonal. Yeah,
Yep.
That's what Anjane Dupertrine does, though. The guitar player's got a combination. I think like bass and regular like guitar, but with like all the microtones and shit.
Right, quarter tones. Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't exist in the Western music. It's only in Middle Eastern.
Because like we have assumptions about music, and different cultures don't have those at all. Like you have music based on more dissonance than harmonies, or they have dissonance elements in rather than harmonies. And
I love playing with that.
Underlying assumptions we have about music aren't universal at all. The maths part might be universal, but what's used within that, it differs. So
I've always found that dissonant tones evoke emotion for me, if used in certain ways, right? Especially that the maqams, they're to me invoke. Oh God, it's hard to explain the emotion they invoke. It's beauty and like almost like how would they call I'm trying to think that there was a surrealist that used a term. It was like pulsating, or a type of it's just it affects me emotionally. Just put it that way. It's hard to put into words.
What is that what's the word?
What, the maqam? Or
yeah, the maqam. What is that?
It's a scale. So it's just the Arabic modal system. It's just their system of music. Just like there's like Chinese have a mode of music that's very strict. This is the opposite of that. Working with the microtones, it expands it. So it gives you those dissonant tones, which
music at a high resolution in a sense, because you've got notes in between notes that aren't normally there. So I really like E's answer to Birdfinger. Because I like Birdfinger's comment, A to G is so analog.
In H.
Which is funny in itself, right? And who knows what's next? And then E's like H.
There's this band called Psycho Stick, and some of you might have heard them. They're a metal band. They're really funny.
The only song
they-
I know is "Dogs Love Socks" or "Dogs Like Socks" or something like that. Oh, that's
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's funny.
cool.
They got this one. They got this one little clip where it's like our tuning is so boring. Like, and then they're like, tune it down, or tune it down, and like the lowest can go down to this G. It's like, no, tune to H flat.
H flat. I was like, what? But yeah. So what makes that music so interesting is that, okay, so there's a resting note. Every maqam, so it's like a scale, right? So the mode is a scale. And so every maqam has a resting note or a tonic where the melody resolves, and a pivot note they call the gamaz, where you can shift and modulate and like jam through it. And they call that shifting or modulating jinns, kind of like they call demons jinns. I
was
found that
just
Like
interesting.
the genie.
yeah, DJINN. Or
It actually, this
DJIN.
is spelled right. A jinn of demon jinn is spelled with the D. This is spelled JIN, JINS.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
And where is this from again, Justine? Sorry. This.
Oh,
scale?
what? The scale is Arabic and Turkish, Middle Eastern.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense with the being. Oh, is there any? Is it a separate etymology for those two words, or are they related at all? Do you know? In Arabic.
I'm not sure. That's a
The
good
reason
question.
I ask is because you're putting me in mind of the old idea about Western music that came from the church about you can't use flats and sharps because they're from the devil. And
Yeah.
it was interesting what you were saying about evoking emotions that you're having trouble describing, because one of the things about blues music and about sharps and flats music compared to music without it is that people say it adds emotional depth, and that in some ways it suggests to humans more like not happy emotions, which is one reason why the church didn't like it, apart from the fact they just like to control. But it was also built around ideas of harmony. It's like, well, sharps and flats don't fit in harmony, and God's all about harmony,
Right.
blah 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 blah. But I was
Then-
just intrigued whether there was any relation between jinn and music and jinn and
It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like there is. So jinns, the plural is I can't pronounce it. AJNAS. Ajnas. I think you would pronounce that as
Right.
AJNAS. So that's the plural of it. So there's jinns, JINS is the singular, and AJNAS is the plural. And that's the fundamental scale fragment. So it's 3 notes or 4, a tetrachord or a trichord, right? And it's used to build the melodic mode of the maqam. Whereas DJINN is that mythology, that spiritual thing that from Islam. But the two are, in Islam, I think that this music is kind of like related to that, although I'm not sure
Yeah, this
how.
is-
I would have to do more
Just-
research.
Yeah, I
with
wonder
it.
if there was some kind of like symmetry there. I've put it in I've put it in Google so that hopefully I can look it up later. But yeah,
Yeah.
I
No,
can
it's
feel a rabbit
interesting.
hole coming on. Even if they're not related at all, I'll still go down a couple of rabbit holes, I
Exactly.
imagine.
It's fun,
right?
right? It is, especially with language.
I was kind of looking into this because it was kind
Hey,
of
Beth.
interesting. Some fiction, more mythical kind of fiction, epics and stuff like that, tend to use the word song to describe the universe. And I thought this was fascinating because, like Lord of the Rings, the Song of Creation, which is I don't know how the fuck this is pronounced, the Ainulindale or something.
Oh yeah, that
The
elf
mu-
stuff.
the-
Yeah, it's good.
The music of the Ainur,
Hey,
which is like they talk about all the different
Dixie.
cosmic gods and stuff. This is all stuff from like the Sumerian and
So
stuff
you
like
could
that.
say
Similar.
this is music of the spheres territory? Is it like music of the balls?
Almost spit that out.
Sorry.
Blast.
But
Blelas.
yeah, so like there's a lot of stories that talk about singing into existence things, and there was another I know it's also done
That's
in
intriguing. Because if you think, like we
what-
were saying, like, the inherent links between physics and maths, and physics is a paradigm that can be used to describe our models or understanding of creation. So
Yep.
I like
Yeah.
singing into existence, though, because
there's
orchestrating and bringing. Yeah.
what is it? Australian indigenous traditions. There's like these spirits that would that created life and features on a blank earth by singing them into existence. So they would sing rocks and rivers and trees and kangaroos, and these things just come into existence. I think that's kind of an interesting
Yeah, I've not really heard
sort of
this before,
mythos.
but I'm already fascinated by it. Yeah, my brain's going, oh, hang on.
Mine is
Ping,
too.
ping,
Mine's
ping. Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm thinking about that in that music is a universal language, in my opinion, with humans, and I think that could extend to all life. I've seen there's a particular guy on Instagram. He's from France. He plays the guitar, and he'll play it to wild animals,
Yeah.
and they'll come up to him. He was an experiment to see what would happen, and they'll approach him like, "What are you doing? What's that?" And so you wonder how much that extends out into the universe beyond Earth. I mean, who knows what's out there, right?
And it's said that there's. I'm not. I don't know string theory or any of this stuff, but
No, I don't either.
talking about the universe being created on some vibrations and things like that are so in depth that don't ask me, but it makes sense to call the universe a song, because they also supposedly started with the Big Bang, and that's how a lot of songs start, is with Big Bangs. So
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Even though I'm not
constantly.
sure if the Big Bang's really a thing, but okay, yeah. It's
I
a
mean,
good
if we're
one. I
just
like
going
it.
by what we know,
I like it.
or what we
No, I like it.
think we know.
I do. I like the
Yeah,
theory.
no, vibrating
I do.
strings, because music's all about that. So that's again, there's
Like how
a lot of
universal, if
thoughts
there
we have
were
there.
aliens, let's play around with that idea, right? I mean, because the probability is there, whether they're interested in us or not. I'm not sure, all that crap. But
Or whether they even know or can contemplate that we exist. They're
Right.
probably asking the same questions.
But what kind of music do they does my theory, right? My hypothesis, thank you, because I do love science too. I really love science. And I love hypothesizing things and disproving them. So I believe that would extend to life anywhere in the universe, right? That music would be a universal language, and that maybe they would have their own music, just like every culture seems to have their own interpretation of music.
Or they're a symbiote, and they
And
hate
how does that hold
dubstep.
it? Maybe it's something that holds us all together, just to go down that freaking rabbit hole too.
Let's
go there.
I've seen the film Contact, because
I
I
saw
don't.
it.
I
Read the
normally
book.
try and avoid watching films that are based on books, and I had already read the book by Carl Sagan, right?
I did
But
too.
the problem with
Yep.
Contact in that it had Jodie Foster in, so I had to watch it. But,
Me too.
But I don't
love
know
her.
whether it comes across in the film, but certainly in the book, the one of the main premises about First Contact is that you would if you like, you would use maths as a universal language in which to communicate. And
Right.
so I wonder if this idea that you have about music being a universal, like, art form would, it sounds like plausible if you think like maths is going to be most likely the universal way of communicating. Because in the book, it's really described about how you could build from first principles of maths in order to establish with this other intelligence that, okay, we're talking in maths, this is our understanding, what's yours, and
Right.
it should
The
quickly be able to-
communication, the
Yeah, and once
language
you've done
would be
that, and-
music.
Yeah, right, and so yes, very.
So
Just like in
Fun-
Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where they do 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 do,
They're-
you know,
using
and they're
a move
talking
sync.
in music. That's
true.
that's a language.
Yeah.
There's a in Contact, there's a sound effects processor that's used as a background prop. It's called the Eventide DSP Ultra Harmonizer. It's like a rack mount bit of equipment that they have in
Oh.
their in the actual set.
So is that like an Easter egg for people that know what they're seeing?
Nice.
Yeah,
Is it?
and their team actually used this
Gotta be.
processing gear. In the movie, they actually use this processing gear to filter pitch shift and translate the radio signals they receive. In
See?
that movie. So
That's cool. I did love that book. The book was so good. The movie
Yeah,
was pretty good too, because I love Jodie Foster too.
Yeah,
I
I
have a
just-
girl crush on her since I was
Yeah, I mean,
but
then
yeah.
I found out she was gay. Like, I'm never going to meet her anyway.
I know she's
So,
awesome,
I
but
love
mix
fun. It's
real
cool.
quick, Mix Club. I don't know what the hell it is you're saying there. I know I'm too
It's
high to
jungle.
translate
I
that.
have no idea.
Gumballs
Okay.
and steam it and take bets to see how long it would take for them to blow bubbles or picking gum out of their hair. I guess he's saying steam the gumballs to get them soft.
Yeah,
and
I don't
gooey,
know. You got me there,
And
buddy.
then whether or not they're going to blow bubbles or just mush gum or throw the gum around. So it's like, are they going to be intelligent and blow bubbles, or I'm not.
Okay,
is this
so
like a
you're
first
like
contact
relating
story,
the
but with
aliens
gumballs?
to monkeys, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
this is what I'm thinking. We need to approach the aliens with softened gumballs. This is what we need to do. Oh, Red said I'm right. Yay!
My guess is they would either give us the finger or slap us. One of the two.
Red,
Yeah.
Red, if you hadn't have said that there and then, I would never have known. Oh, stream it. Thanks, Pookie.
See,
It
yeah, we're
makes so
talking
much
about
more sense now you
mysteries,
said streaming.
mysteries of the universe, and we've got Red over here.
Oh my god. The life universe and everything. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy over here.
It's enough trouble being inside my mind. I'd hate to be inside of Rhett's. That's
Oh, what was I going to say? Sugar. It's gone.
I know, I hate it
fucking
when that
train of
happens. I
thought
do it all the time.
derails.
Heard of,
Wait, what?
Have you guys heard of Drake's? 42. Have you guys heard of Drake's equation?
I
The
want
rapper?
No, not the rapper.
Yeah, it's not the rapper.
Drake
no.
knows equations?
No, do you know?
I'm
in
not
that
sure.
moment of silence, I thought, I know what he's going. I should have preempted. Not the dodgy rapper, no. I blew my mind when I found out he used to be in Degrassi High. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, I know. Where was I?
Anyway.
I was in a restaurant. They were showing Degrassi High. Anyway.
Yeah, no. The Drake's equation is like, it's kind of like algebra, I guess, because it's what it's trying to do is get people to think about the variables that you might need to know the values of in order to calculate where or how likely it is that we meet alien intelligence, right? Or
Okay,
alien
yeah.
life.
That's
So
where
it's
I've heard
like,
of it. Okay.
How many planets would be in the Goldilocks zone? And we take the Goldilocks zone to be where water is liquid at the planet's surface. But that doesn't that would
Right.
automatically rule out loads of life that isn't water based. But yeah, so And the thing that I think about Drake's equation is the question is there other life in the universe? And I think the answer is yes, unless you're religious.
Yeah,
Or
right.
the answer is yes, it is a probability, but it's so unlikely in my mind as to not be worth considering. It's a negligible probability. So we're not alone, in which case then how far away are they? And Drake's equation would suggest far enough away that you're going to need faster than light travel to actually meet before your civilizations expire anyway. But there are other complicating things to that afterwards, but that's where I wanted to start with that.
Now this gets into forms of space travel, and that the only way that we think to do it is to go really fast one way. Right? But now you look at and consider this, if you can form the thought in your head that it's a possibility, if we can conceive of a thought that it's a possibility, the movie Dune. In the movie Dune, they use the spice, right, that they're collecting from the desert of that planet to fold space. So instead of going one way really fast, what they do is they take space and they bring it to them. And then they jump.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's that one movie they were
but there's a concept that I heard. Yeah, go ahead.
Movie where they found hell. They were talking.
I've heard of that film. Yeah,
where they went into space and shit! We watched this on Chad's channel.
While you're trying to think of that, let me go on. There's a little bit more. So I was watching Earth Files, Linda Moulton Howe, right? Actually, it wasn't even. It was the guy that helps her, Ian. He's in the UK. And he was showing, and I forgot the man's name. If I could go back to the video and find it one of these times, but he was talking about a conversation that he couldn't even believe he had with an alien, right? And what the guy, he asked that question: how do we get to Alpha Centauri? Yeah. We only know to go one way really fast. He's like, you wouldn't understand. You're thinking of it all wrong. It's like a Rubik's Cube, and then each part of the Rubik's Cube shifts. Yeah. And the Rubik's Cube, each one of the squares of the Rubik's Cube has a periodic table on it. And to travel from here to there, you shift it. Right. So the concept was, if that's true, if that guy wasn't just hallucinating, taking LSD or something, but maybe if he was, maybe he reached a part of his mind that knows this. I don't know, because we don't use all of our brains, and we don't know how to, and we don't know what's in there, right? So even if he did, maybe he came up with something. Maybe there's something to that.
It was Event Horizon.
Kind of crazy.
Event Horizon was the movie.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I think I might have seen that movie.
And there was talking about where you take a piece of paper and you fold it and you stick a pencil through it and then you get, But I'm like, come the fuck on. How in the hell do you even fold the universe like a piece of paper? What are we talking about here?
We can't really conceive of it yet. We're not quite there yet. You know what I mean?
You were describing something to me like the movie Cube, where like that whole thing where like the rooms that you enter in the cube would change mathematically, and there was someone who was literally trying to use algebra to save their fucking life. Like, I don't know if you've seen Cube or not, but
yeah, I like that film.
I am high, Rhett. What are you gonna do about it?
We all are. I am. Anyway, I'll speak for myself.
We're talking about shit we don't even know, okay? So
that thing about like space being wrinkled and you sort of going through it like a needle through fabric is a good like analogy or whatever. And I was so like I remembered like about warp and weft in like being the different directions of threads in cloth, right? And I was looking that up, and because I remember like because I thought, oh, in Star Trek where they go warp factor, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about them saying that, and then I was thinking about the idea, like you say, wrinkled fabric, and I thought, hang on a minute, why are they saying warp? Because there's weft as well. Are they used? So I looked it up, and it's like, oh yeah, they use warp drive because they're literally referring to that, like the threads in fabric going in one
Right.
direction, but being wrinkled
Right.
and going through them. So I was like, oh, that's intriguing. But yeah, and that's like how you can do faster than light travel because you don't go through all of the space. You go into other dimensions, and then it's like a shortcut tunnel is a way to do it. And then you get
Right.
into like wormholes and whether or not they exist in nature, whether or not you could make artificial ones and keep them open long enough and stable enough to actually travel through.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, so this is the thing. Like to me, Drake's equation says we're not going to meet them unless we have faster than light travel, and we don't even know if that's like possible. But
Well,
it's,
Right.
happens-
We don't know if
but
that's even the
think-
way to do it, and I'm not
Think
sure
about-
that it is.
Think
I'm
about
not
all the
convinced
ways.
that faster than light travel is the way, because if you even look at like books that are written about it, if you start to travel that way, you're going to be too old to even
yeah, there's
Think of
bother.
the ways we
And
could
like-
fuck that up
Yeah.
too. Like, imagine going so fast and you can't stop in like so quick in that environment. You just go right into a fucking star. Poof, gone.
yeah, it wouldn't be
Right.
like missing
Yeah,
an
because-
exit
or a
on
black
the
hole,
moon.
and
you know how many
glad you're
times I've
spread
thought about-
apart.
I've
You
thought
know?
about this watching Star Wars. Like whenever they jump into hyperdrive and all the stars go shooting past them, I'm like, how do you not end up just hitting one?
Yeah.
Just flying right into
Right.
into some sun somewhere, you know. But just like poof, like
Game
oops,
over.
you know. That was that, you know.
Whoopsie.
Have a nice evening making your puzzle pizza. I presume you're going to start with slices and then make it into a whole one. Is that? Oh no, sorry.
Or a puzzle pizza.
A pizza. He's gonna
pizza.
make a
He's
pizza.
gonna make a
Start
puzzle
making
pizza. So he's
triangle.
gonna make a pizza and he's gonna cut it up into like jigsaw puzzle pieces.
That would be kind of cool.
It's going to do like an MC Escher but with pizza.
It's gonna be like a 1,000 piece puzzle pizza. Put it in a box, shuffle it around, try to put it back together.
I'm sure it'll be very nice.
I've
Yeah.
seen pizzas like that actually at times.
You ever see the Chuck E. Cheese pizza where it's like 5 different pieces Frankenstein together? It's like they're all cut weird and shit. and
Yes,
put
they're
together.
not right. You can tell when at the Little Caesars, when the guys are alone and they're getting stoned, because they're just not cut correctly. They're all, you got one piece that's like this big, and then one piece that's really big. Like, dude, put the joint down. Anyway, we've had fun tonight. It is actually over, but
It's over.
it's
Oh.
overtime.
It's
is what I
over.
mean.
I just want to say as well, like, reading E's comments just make me howl. And the thing is that, but it's like
Me
a
too.
good stand-up because I laugh and laugh, and then at the end of the show I go, if only I could remember one thing that E said that made me laugh. So I've recently got
Hey,
into
that
the
makes the
habit.
both of us.
I've recently got in the habit of screenshotting them. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm going to screenshot that.
I've had to. There have been some times that
Oh my God.
E has made me roar so loud that I have had to text them. Oh my God,
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
dying at what you just said. I cannot
Right.
stop laughing. My stomach hurts. I may puke. I don't know.
The first time I heard someone say that either.
There have been a few times that's happened. Absolutely priceless shit. Oh my God. All right, guys, I am going to say goodnight.
I'm glad that
So
your trip was a success, Justine. and
Yeah,
you're
it was.
already planning a second invasion with reinforcements.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
I'm going to
Yeah.
be gathering all of my forces here and converging upon Allie in Buffalo. They're asking for it, though. They like me. They really, really
They're
like
asking
me.
for it. Are they asking for it? Jesus, careful what you look for. No, it'll be great. It'll be great. Who said that? Slap
No.
him. Fucking hell,
Okay.
shit.
All right, guys.
Bye, Pat.
Shining off for tonight. We will see you next week with some other crazy shit we say. Have a good night.